Hi everyone, I am Srinivasrao, Assistant Professor, Department of Microbiology, Dr. B.R. College, Jadcherla. Today, we'll discuss about biocatalysis. 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 Previously, we discussed about enzymes. Enzymes, definition, properties, and classification. But today, we'll talk about biocatalysis. Biocatalysis. What is meant by biocatalysis? You all know that enzymes can be called as biocatalyst. Enzymes called as biocatalyst. And I already told you catalyst means a molecule which involves in the reaction and make the reaction to speed up. For example, there are both reactants A and B, and it can turn to a product P. And the formation of the product in real time may take 10 seconds, for example, but with the involvement of a particular catalyst here, the formation of product can be reduced to maybe 1 microsecond. 1 microsecond. See, the time taken by a normal reaction to form a product while two reactants are reacting, it may take 10 seconds, but with the involvement of a catalyst, that reaction happened in 1 microsecond. This is the great difference with the involvement of catalyst. This catalyst is involving in cellular activities. Hence, we call it as biocatalyst. The activity done by biocatalyst we call as biocatalysis. Biocatalysis means breakdown. Who will do this? This is done by so-called enzymes. What do? They accelerate chemical reactions by factors of as much as millions or more. In fact, most chemical reactions in biological systems do not occur at perceptible rates in the absence of an enzyme. Even a reaction as simple as the hydration of carbon dioxide is catalyzed by an enzyme, namely carbonic anhydrase. So here, the process of biocatalysis occurs purely because of enzymes. Without the involvement of enzymes, this will not occur. Then, before we that, we talk about there is a simple concept called as activation energy. What is activation energy? Enzymes increases the rate of reaction without affecting its equilibrium. They do by lowering the activation energy of a reaction. What is it? Basically, in the cellular system, or in the cells, the biochemical reactions They do not start automatically. Means whatever the biochemical reactions are taking place, biochemical reactions are not automatic. They are not automatic, but they substrate molecule, in order to participate in reaction, it need to overcome energy barrier. There is energy barrier. It need to, for say example, for say if the substrate is there, if the substrate must convert it into a particular product. Basically, these reactions are non-reactive. They must cross the energy barrier and form the product. Until unless they remains in a state called as non-reactive state. Non-reactive state. This state we call as, simply we call as ground state. Simply we call it as a ground state. But to undergo the molecule to convert into product, to undergo the molecule to be converted into the product, it must overcome the ground state. It must overcome the ground state. And it has to cross the energy barrier. They must be raised to a higher level to become reactive. To become reactive. Here, a non-reactive molecule must turn to reactive. Now the state of substrate changing from non-reactive to reactive, non-reactive to the reactive, we call as transition. Transition state. We simply call as transition state. The transition state means any molecule to reach the transition state, it requires an energy. That energy we simply call as activation energy. That energy we simply call as activation energy. What is the benefit of the activation energy? The benefit of the activation energy, it can break the bond. It can break the bond. It can form the bond. It can break the bond and it can form the bond. The exact activation energy is nothing but it lowers, means activation energy is this, means non-reactive to the reactive. A molecule requires an activation energy. But in cellular system, a particular molecule converted into the product, it must get activated. It should get activated. The activation is given by a particular molecule we call as an enzyme. What does it do? It lowers the activation energy. It lowers the activation energy. Who will do that? Enzyme. Enzyme will lower the activation energy. For example, for breakdown of hydrogen peroxide, in absence of catalyst, it almost requires 18,000 joules per mole. It requires 18,000 calories per mole energy. But the same reaction in presence of an enzyme, to occur, it almost requires only 2,000 moles, 2,000 calories per mole. Look the difference. Where the 18,000 is and where the 2,000 is. Means with the involvement of the catalyst like an enzyme, the activation energy is lowered. The activation energy is lowered. This was the benefit. This was the benefit of the enzyme in biological reactions. An enzyme in the biological reactions. So when you see here, according to graph, per se, if I plot a graph over here, and for example, and this is a particular state, and where here we have a molecule like this, and basically this is the activation energy. Means from point here to point here, this is the activation energy required. This is the ground state, this is the ground state, this is the transition state. To reach a substrate and enzyme react together and to reach a transition state, it requires almost all this. But the same to happen in presence of an enzyme. For the same to happen in presence of an enzyme, to occur this particular reaction, activation energy is very less. Activation energy is very less. You see, very less amount of energy is required, and so that the product is formed. Here, takes longer time. It takes lesser time. So enzyme have ability to cause distortion in the substrate molecule, thereby straining and weakening specific bonds, leading to faster product formation. What the enzymes do? The ability to cause distortion in the substrate molecule, thereby straining and weakening specific bonds, leading to formation of a faster products. That was the benefit. This is how enzymes are going to act, and they lower the activation energy and they speed up the enzymatic reactions. To explain how an enzyme is working. For what is an enzyme? We all know that enzyme is a protein. Enzyme is a protein molecule, and later some of the RNAs are also as an enzymes. But enzyme must bind to the substrate. Where it will bind? Where both they will bind. For example, an enzyme molecule and a substrate molecule, where they bind each other. How do they bind each other? Yes. The enzyme, in order to bind onto the substrate molecule, there is a specific site. There is a specific site on enzyme. There is a specific site on enzyme. Consider if this is the enzyme. If this is the enzyme, this particular site, or this is the particular site we call as a site where a substrate will come and bind. That particular site we call as active site. Means a particular site or a groove or a location on the enzyme where it provides a substrate to come and bind, that particular site we call as active site. Always a specific enzyme, a specific substrate will fill this particular gap. A specific substrate will come and bind in this particular location, so that enzyme substrate complex will form. So here the substrate always bind on to a specific site and enzyme. That site we call as active site. To explain how an enzyme binds with a substrate, that is called as mode of enzyme action. How an enzyme will bind with, substrate. how an enzyme bind with substrate. This was explained by two scientists. This was explained by two scientists in two hypotheses. These two are hypotheses. One is lock and key model, and another one is induced fit theory. Induced fit model. There are two models which explains the interaction between enzyme and the substrate. It explains the interaction between enzyme and substrate. So I'll talk about lock and key model. Lock and key model hypothesis was given by a chemist called as Emily Fisher in 1874. In 1874, he explained about the lock and key model. This model explains that both enzyme and substrate molecule have matching shape like clock. Here, both enzyme and substrate, enzyme and substrate must have a proper sites to bind, like lock and key. We all know that always lock will open with a specific key. It will not be opened by a alternate key or else a different key. And he explained that when an enzyme is participating in a particular reaction, consider it is an enzyme. When an enzyme is participating in the reaction and when it is encountering with the substrate molecules, when it is encountering with the substrate molecules, it specifically bind onto the substrate molecule which has a appropriate key type. Means in this particular site, this shape substrate only can fit. Specifically, it requires a specific shape or structured molecule bind onto the enzyme active site. We call it as active site. Then what happens? Enzyme would be like this because this particular portion is of substrate. This is a substrate portion. This is the enzyme portion. This is the substrate portion. This is the enzyme portion, where only this specific kind of substrate will come and bind onto this particular location. This is we call as lock and key model. This is we call as lock and key model. It's a specific in mode of action. Always enzyme looks for a specific substrate to bind onto its active site. Slight modification in the substrate arrangement will not allow to fit into the active site. So when a specific substrate is there, then only it will bind and form substrate, enzyme substrate complex, and then you get a product. And then you may get product and you will get enzyme back. And you will get enzyme back for next reaction. Enzyme back for the next reaction. This is the enzyme and this is the product you got it. It always happens when there is a specific active site filled with a specific structured one. But in cellular reactions, sometimes what happens is the cell and cellular system always look for a substrate. Sometimes we may have similar substrate molecules. For example, glucose is there and fructose is there. Both are hexosugars. Sometimes instead of glucose, fructose can go and participate in reaction. Or else for glucose, you have a mannose and galactose, both are epimers. Instead of glucose, mannose can react and galactose can react, depends. like that. Here, the induced fit model explains that it was proposed by Daniel Koshland. The induced fit model explained by Daniel Koshland. It was explained by Daniel Koshland in 1958. It was in 1958. Fisher explained in 1874, but Daniel Koshland explained in 1958. He modifying the lock and key model. An important but unfortunate feature of Fisher and Lock-on model is the rigidity. It is a rigid. Specific lock always opened by a specific key. Sometimes it is not advisable. Sometimes it is not a flexible. In cellular and biological reactions, sometimes the enzymatic reactions must be flexible. If the same substrate is not there, the enzyme reaction may not occur. It cannot accept similar substrates to complete the reaction. But Daniel Koshland noticed this. The active site is rigid. The active site is presumed to be pre-shaped to fit the substrate. And hence Koshland, however, presumed that the enzyme molecule does not retain its original shape and structure. On the other hand, the contact of the substrate induces some configurational or geometrical changes in the active site of an enzyme molecule. Sometimes enzyme behaves strange. For example, this is the enzyme which has this kind of shape. Unfortunately, you got a substrate of this type. You got a substrate of this not exactly as active site, but it will bind onto the active site. For example, this was the enzyme. And it should bound by a specific substrate, which is like this. It should bind here. But the active site is not completely structurally similar for binding of a substrate onto the enzyme. But after binding of the substrate onto the active site, after binding of this particular substrate, now the substrate bound over here like this. After binding of the substrate onto this particular location, active site slightly modify itself and fit onto this particular location like this. The enzyme itself modifies. And flexible so that it provides a way for a substrate molecule bind onto this particular active site location. And remarkably, the active site is modified and the substrate and enzyme substrate complex will form. With that you will get the product. This was explained by the Daniel Koshland. This we call as induced fit model. It's a, what is it? It's a flexible model. So these two models, lock and key model, and the induced fit model, these two models will explain how an enzyme interact with the substrate and forms the product. Means the process of explaining the interaction between enzyme and substrate we call as biocatalysis. Biocatalysis. And this theory can be explained by lock and key model, but lock and key model is simply rigid and it's not a flexible one. A specific substrate must be required to bind onto the site of active. But whereas induced fit model, the enzyme can able to change its active site according to the substrate molecule which is coming near and binding onto its particular active site. Flexibly modifies, and both these theories will explain the interaction between an enzyme and the substrate molecule, and these interactions are surely influenced by few things. They are concentration of enzyme, concentration of substrate, and optimum temperature and optimum pH. Optimum temperature and optimum pH. These are the conditions. We or the enzyme requires, means it requires concentration of enzyme, concentration of the substrates, and it requires a temperature, specific temperature, optimum temperature and pH, because most of the enzymes are proteins. In a particular, for example, in a particular reaction, in a particular environment where the enzyme concentration is more and substrate concentration is less, then what happens? Enzyme can quickly react, but if the temperature is varied, reaction takes very slowly. If the pH is unfavorable, means the temperature and pH conditions are not favorable, the formation of enzyme substrate complex and the reaction between enzyme and substrate will not take place well. Means the factors which are influencing the biocatalysis process is concentration of enzyme in the medium, or concentration of the substrate in the medium, or temperature and pH available to the substrate and enzyme will depends on the biocatalysis of the enzyme. These are the factors which influence both the biocatalysis. They may undergo lock and key model or they may undergo induced fit model, but these factors ultimately inhibit or they bring changes in the biocatalysis process. Next class, we'll talk about enzyme kinetics. Thank you.